Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Read I.O. Now, in the last part, Hinata was going to the infirmary because he had a headache, so let's find out what happens. Oh, but before that, last time when I was editing, I realized that I forgot to read one of the keywords. So, this is what the system menu looks like. Got a bit of information here. You got, it shows you how long you've been playing. Actually, this is incorrect because I had a technical issue and had to start this over. I think I've got that straightened out now, though. Anyway, shows you the moon's age at this point in the story, which is makes sense, I guess. So anyway, let's read about Alpha Company. Famous for developing durable chronographs, wristwatches with hands for stopwatch and astronomical tracking features, which can function in both the absolute void of space and the extreme pressures of the dark depths of the sea. I have a feeling that flexibility is going to come into play. Huh? Oh, he's saying, huh? There's no one in this room filled with the sharp scent of ethanol. When I survey my surroundings, the combot on the top of the desk responds, turning its sensors to stare at me. Communication robot. A robot normally placed at the entrance of people's homes that manages their voice messages and email. They're round robots that are generally small enough to be carried around with both hands and are considered cute. Nickname Combot.
先生はただいま外出中です。ということで、とっとと出直すか、助手のアントゥにご伝言をどうぞ。どうしても急用だったりする人は仕方ないから下記の番号までコールしてね。やよい。
どこから声出してるんだか。
Even though this should have been an escape from Sakuya, it feels like I've been caught in another trap. Rather than easing up my headache, this is just making it even worse. It's rude for her to just selfishly take a break. As I think this, I try to take one of the beds, but the choking stench of medicine is only making me feel worse. No good. I'm completely helpless in this place. I decide to leave for somewhere else. The hanging gardens on the roof truly are the embodiment of the path of wind. The weather's good today. Because it's lunch break, students are sitting carefreely all around the roof, using whatever spot they please. And there's another term in curly braces. Hanging gardens of Babylon were one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. I don't know if they actually existed. Anyway, I have to look into that more. They're eating on the lawn, chatting on the benches, and playing soccer and volleyball at the plaza. At the back is a clover garden, where you'll occasionally see girls searching for 4-leaved clovers. I look for the shade of a tree where I can be as far away from this noisy group as possible, a place where I don't have to talk to anyone, where I can be all alone and bury myself in my own personal solitary world. Is the sky alone as well? Does the sun feel loneliness? What about when the sun and moon meet? Questions with no answers just unconsciously flow into my brain. Nevertheless, I feel much better out here than I did inside. I feel a little wave of relief pass through me. It's a beautiful night with a full moon. Right in front of me is an elegant garden filled with beautiful flowers that stretch out as far as the eye can see. I see the figure of a lone girl there. The gentle moonlight rains from the sky as if it's blessing the girl. No, that's exactly what it's doing. The girl is being blessed by all sorts of things, completely different from me. She creates what she wills, accepts everything as they are, and I'm holding a doll. It's a doll modeled after a rabbit. It's her doll. I know that. When I look up, I see the crescent moon that's crimson like blood. It looks white to me, but okay. Crescent moon. The sickle-shaped 3-day waxing crescent moon, as well as the 26-day waning crescent, has been used as a sort of family crest for the moon by all cultures throughout history. As a result, several moon deities are pictured with a crescent moon growing out of their heads like horns. These deities often resemble cows, which explains why some believe the bovine to be blessed by the moon. Followers of the moon in the Orient use the curved blade scimitars as holy arms. In general, a waxing crescent refers to the moon with a moon's age older than a new moon, but younger than a half moon. The inner planets, Venus and Mercury, also appear to wax and wane, which in turn alters the characteristics of the heavenly bodies' deities. Venus is brightest as a crescent, reaching a maximum apparent magnitude of -4.4. The astrological symbol for Mercury is the same as that of Venus, but with an upwards crescent placed on top. Is it smiling at her? Is it sneering at me? I grasp the doll. The doll's head falls off. The surrounding scenery vanishes at the same time. The garden, moon, and girl all turn into trash and begin to dissolve in the crimson darkness. Everything's vanishing, leaving only silence and the deep crimson world behind. A gloss like velvet dyes my field of vision scarlet. My heart is filled with relief. I sigh and mutter something at the same time.
これでいいんだ。
Man, that's creepy. Suddenly I hear the sound of ear-grating laughter. I shift my focus to the rabbit head that had fallen to the ground, which is grinning at me. No, that's wrong. The head that's laughing is not the rabbit's. It's... I try to scream, but my voice won't come out. That head is... emitting laughter, endless laughter. The rabbit's head has my face. My consciousness is violently ripped from the dream. I open my eyes. Where am I? I'm unable to focus my eyes, leaving everything in my field of vision blurry. My whole body is covered in pungent sweat. My heart's pounding harder than a jackhammer. Chaos reigns in my head. It hurts to breathe. Just what was I? I'm still at the hanging gardens on the roof, which are the same as always. It seems I suddenly fell asleep while lying down. And then I had a nightmare, same as always. That's all. There's no one around. Have classes already started? I may be skipping class, but I don't feel a shred of guilt. There's no real difference whether I leave or not. The once clear sky is now covered in clouds. The moon and the sun can't be seen from behind the shroud. What am I doing all alone in a place like this? The girl who appeared in my dream suddenly appears in my mind. No, stop thinking. She's long gone. She's dead. I have to forget her. I still have a headache, though the pains died down a little. There's something wrong with me today, what with what happened this morning and now. If I'm late to class as it is, then it might be best to go home early. I let out a lone sigh and stand up, and then I decide to leave the paradise-turned-hell known as the roof.
あれまさか
When I turn around, I see...
保健室に行ったんじゃなかったの？
今から
今からって今までどこにいたの？
行く。屋上。
ああ、なるほど。っていうか、なんで屋上に？
いいだろ別に。
よくないよ。だから一緒に行ってあげようって言ったのに。
一緒でも同じだよ。弥生先生いなかったんだから。
え？さっき顔出したら保健室にいたよ。
In the end, no matter how much I try to ignore her, she'll definitely keep meddling in my affairs. That's just the kind of person Sakuya is. That's why I have no choice but to go along with her.
じゃあちょうどよかった。今から行ってくる。
信用ならないわね。やっぱり私が一緒に。
次の授業始まるよ。
まあ、そうだけど。
後で授業内容教えてくれよ。
うん。それはいいけど。
Of course, there's no need for that. But because I'm so desperate to escape from the fiendish clutches of Sakuya by any means necessary, that's all I could think of saying.
じゃ、僕は行くから。
しょうがないな。確かに、ひなたがノートを借りられるのは私だけだろうしね。
ほっとけよ。
ねえ、ひなたって友達作らないの？
作らない。
どうして？
つるんだり、群れたりするのが嫌いなんだ。
でも、気の合う仲間と一緒だと違うんだよ。そうだ、ひなたって植物好きだったよね。さっきもそれで屋上行ってたんでしょ？園芸部とかに。
入りません。
でも。
確かに僕は植物の中にいると落ち着くよ。それは彼らがぶしつけに話しかけてこないからさ。誰かさんみたいにね。
ひなた。
When she says that, I come to a realization. I've hurt even Sakuya. At that moment,
ひなたって前はそうじゃなかったよね。
僕は昔からこうだったさ。
そうじゃなかった。中学までは周りに友達がいっぱいいたよ。
忘れた。
やっぱりそれってあのことが。
my uncertain memories begin to dye the depths of my heart a dusty black color. My brain is stirred up and my past swoops down on me in the form of a headache. It flares up and tries to materialize like a monster.
ひなた？
The one in front of me is my childhood friend. This is a hallway. The class bell has just rung.
じゃあ、大変よろしく。
大変なんて無理だよ。私女なんだよ。
I ignore her and quicken my pace. Wicked, unseemly emotions rage in my heart. I wanted to forget it. Why did she make me remember that which I should have forgotten?
ほほー、ちゃんと来たんだね。感心感心。
The school doctor, Amane Yayoi, is here, saying ridiculous things as always.
ちゃんとって、どこに行ってたんですか？
まあわかるだろ。燃料補給さ。ニコチンが切れたんでね。
あ、そう。燃費の悪いことで。
ほっとけ。
Geez, she's nothing like a normal doctor. What with her coquettish makeup, earrings, manicure, vulgar language, and excessive smoking that'd make a chain smoker blush. Naturally, she doesn't smoke in the infirmary, but as a result of that, she frequently abandons her post. She's what you'd call extremely negligent. She's the most unfitting person you could find for a school nurse. But that's why I don't hate her. Above all else, her relaxed attitude is one of her good points. She doesn't look at us like we're some kind of lab rats, unlike the rest of the teachers. She accepts students for who they are. These may just be my own selfish thoughts, but I really feel like that's what she is.
ところで、あの留守中のメッセージなんとかなりません？先生とキャラが違いすぎるんですけど。
普段の口調のまま吹き込んだら反感を買うだろ。だから精一杯可愛く演じてみた。割と自信あったんだがな。
反感買う以前に気持ち悪いです。
そうなのか。
あ、いや。
I really am saying way too much today. It feels like something uncontrollable is raging within me. That's why I...
ところで、ご用は何だったかな？
はい。
I don't dislike these random mood swings of Yayoi Sensei's either.
なるほど。熱はないな。
As the thermometer registers my temperature, the weather starts improving again.
ええ。だから薬とかはいらないんです。早退の許可が欲しいだけで。
君でもう13人目かな。
何がです？
早退願い。それ以外にも今日はやたら気分が優れない生徒が多い。
It's not just me. Come to think of it, I felt like there were a lot of kids absent today.
その対応に追われて忙しかったから、昼にちょっと長めの休憩を取ってたんだ。
言い訳しなくてもいいですよ。先生はタバコを吸いに出かけたら、いつもすぐには帰っては来ないじゃないですか。
学校側がこの部屋での喫煙を許してくれさえしたらな。あるいはせめて購買にタバコの自販機を置いてくれたら。
Why would a school put vending machines with cigarettes in them? Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of school. Yeah, seriously.
ブルーマンデーといっても少し数が多すぎる。ゆうべ月食だったからかな。
Yayoi Sensei is as quick to change the topic as always. It's probably so she can move the conversation away from topics that stir up negative emotions. That's become one of the main reasons why it's easy for me to talk to her.
僕らはコンピューターじゃありません。
そこだよそこ。むしろ月が人間の心身に影響を及ぼすのは不思議じゃない。それがなぜコンピューターネットワークにまでエラーを引き起こすのか。
心身に影響って、満月に狼男がどうのってそういう話ですか？そんなの名詞に決まってるじゃないですか。なんだか先生らしくないです。
おいおいひなた、迷信という言葉に騙されて真実を切り捨ててちゃ立派な科学者にはなれないぞ。大体君らしくないな。月食とは月と地球がどんな時に起きる現象だったかな。
まさか潮汐力のことじゃ。
Tidal force, also called tide generating force. When the oceans covering the Earth are on the side facing the moon's gravitational pull supplements the centrifugal forces from the Earth's rotation, resulting in the oceans being pulled towards the moon. Conversely, on the opposite side of the planet, the centrifugal forces overpower the Earth's gravity, so the oceans on that side rise as well. That's why both sides of the planet experience high tides, but locations between the two bulges, where the difference between centrifugal forces and gravity is the smallest, have low tides. Tidal effects caused by the sun's gravity are known as solar tides, while those caused by the moon's are known as lunar tides. Although the larger mass of the sun means it exerts more gravitational force, lunar tides have a much stronger effect on the Earth because the moon is so much closer than the sun.
ご名答。だんだん分かってきたようだね。優秀優秀。さすが私が見込んだだけはある。
見込んだってひいきはいけませんよ先生。
虐げられるより全然いいじゃないか。私は授業を受け持ってるわけじゃないし、保健室によく来る生徒と仲良くなるのはこれ必然。
相変わらずだな。でも潮汐力、つまり月の引力は人体に影響を及ぼすには微弱すぎるでしょう。重力は4つの力のうち最も微弱なものだし。
Fundamental interactions. Naturally occurring forces can be classified into 4 fundamental interactions: gravitation, electromagnetism, the strong interaction, and the weak interaction. Gravitation, Newton's law of universal gravitation, famously linked to the falling apple. This force is hypothetically generated by the exchange of gravitons between objects with mass. Since gravitational force is inversely proportional to the squared distance between objects, it is the weakest of the 4 interactions, but it works over the longest distance. Another distinction from the others is that it lacks the repulsive force. Only gravitational attraction exists. Electromagnetism. Both electricity and magnetism. It is mediated by photons and bipolar in nature, positive and negative, north and south. Opposite poles attract, whereas like poles repel. Chemical reactions between atoms occur through this force. Strong interaction, also known as the nuclear force. It occurs in the atomic nucleus and is mediated by elementary particles known as gluons. It is the force responsible for binding quarks, the elementary particles that form protons, neutrons, and mesons. It's about 100 times stronger than electromagnetism. Weak interaction. This is thought to be one aspect of the electroweak interaction alongside electromagnetism. mediated by W and Z bosons. This faint force that comes into play when a neutron in a nucleus decays into a proton, emitting a neutrino and an electron. As such, it is primarily related to radioactivity and the nuclear reactions present in heavenly bodies.
しかし、最も遠くまで届く力でもある。君はどうやらバイオタイド理論を知らないようだね。
バイオタイド、生物学的な潮汐だったら、新月と満月では同じ結果が出ないとおかしくないですか？
あとはやはり視覚が及ぼす心理学的な効果だろうな。月が満ちていくのを見ると精神的にも充実していくし、欠けていくと気力が落ちてくる。
だったら曇りや雨の日はどうするんですか？
さっきも言ったように、人体は潮汐力によって直接影響を受けている。仮に天空に月が見えなくとも、人間の細胞は今が満月か新月か分かってるんだよ。
そうやった。
月の満ち欠けサイクルは人間の体にしっかり刻み込まれているから、私たちは心の目で月を見ることができる。
でも今言ってるのは普通の満月や新月の話ですよね。
ああ、そうだ。だが月食が満月の時にしか起きないことは君だって知ってるだろ？
太陽を覆い隠した地球の影がちょうど月を覆ってしまう角度。確かに月食は満月、日食は新月以外では起こらない。だとすると、
丸く輝いているべき月が見る間に新月のように欠けていって、最後は血に染まったように赤くなる。これは満月と新月が一緒に来た以上のインパクトだろう。
その情報は僕らを構成する細胞の一つ一つに伝播されていって。
ああ、新月期には生命力が減退する。まるで月に惹かれるように自殺に導かれることもある。
At that point, Yayoi Sensei averts her gaze. She reaches her fingers into the pocket of her white coat and smoothly takes out a light green package with a broken seal, clearly full of cigarettes.
先生。
ああ、おかしいな。なんだこれは。
As she says this, she suddenly stops moving for the cigarettes. Was she feeling so withdrawn that she unconsciously searched for the nicotine?
気持ちはわかりますが、ここではまずいです。
It happened 2 weeks ago. On the night of the new moon, a group that met on the net committed suicide. One of their members was a student from this school. Yayoi Sensei thought I should have tried to save them.
ああ、そうだな。ところで、何の話だったっけ？
バイオタイド。先生はそうおっしゃってました。その理論で言うと満月はどうなるんですか？
ああ、逆に満月は生命力をかきたてる。だがそれが負のファクターとして働けば、ヒステリー気味で怒りっぽい人は自分を見失い、事故や暴力犯罪につながる。
じゃあ先生は気をつけないと。
ほっときたまえ。
I don't actually feel that way. The Yayoi Sensei I know is always cool-headed. No one could have stopped the net group's suicide. It's not Sensei's fault.
ああ、あと満月期の副作用として神経や筋肉が緊張することによって頭痛や肩こりが起きやすくなるんだ。
頭痛が？
These headaches that have been tormenting me are the result of tidal forces?
私もこの華奢な肩が張って張って。
華奢って、それは月のせいじゃなく年のせいでしょ。
ほほう、いい度胸だ、青いひなたくん。
はい。
弥生の顔も3度までっていうことわざ知らないのかな？
うわ、本当に凶暴化した。じゃあ僕気分が優れないので、失礼します。
おいひなた、目をかけられてる分ちゃんと肩揉んでいきなさいよ。
I'm not sure that's appropriate. I feel like I can hear Yayoi Sensei grumbling behind me, but I ignore her and continue running for my life. I feel like I've been doing the same thing this whole day. The city is full of people chatting and having happy conversations amongst themselves. I wonder what everyone else is thinking. There's no way for people to know the worries of strangers. How would you look into someone's brain? Is there more to it than a lump of pink and gray nerve cells? Are there really souls embedded in there? In the first place, even I don't know what the inside of my own head looks like. I don't know myself. What do I want to do? I have no goals. I just aimlessly go to school. As if to wash that away, nightmares swoop down on me every night, leaving me living in fear. Is that my way of living? Is that the life I've chosen for myself? It feels like it is, yet it also feels like it isn't at the same time. That's why I don't know myself. At that moment, I hear my email ringtone. I've got a bad feeling about this. You have one unread email. The title is Oni-chan? And just as expected, the sender's email address is... A jet black sports car suddenly appears before my eyes. In a panic, I fall flat on the ground. The rear wheels drift, losing their traction on the ground, and the car's black frame approaches.
Ah!
I instinctively covered my face with my hands. Nothing happened. I timidly lower my hands to see. A mere 10 centimeters away from me is the streamlined body of a car I've only seen on TV. It's a Diabolos, a car whose name means devil in Latin. Diabolos, an Italian word meaning to falsely accuse. Over time, its meaning evolved to connote devil. A supercar equipped with gull-wing doors. Gull-wing, that which resembles a seagull's wing. 1. An aircraft wing whose shape is like a seagull's wing. 2. Car doors designed to open by springing upward. They are particularly popular in expensive, high-performance sports cars for their design, which makes it easier for people to get out of their cars. The door springs upwards. I see a long-haired, unfamiliar, handsome man. Is this really a man? Does this look like a man to you? Someone tell me what they think. His lips are inhumanly thin. He removes his sunglasses and looks towards me with a glare that feels like it could pierce through anything. I feel shivers up my spine. Cold sweat begins to run down my forehead. I feel like a frog being glared at by a snake. I can't move, to say nothing less of taking my eyes off him. Just then...
どこを見てる?
すいません。
The man takes his hands off the steering wheel and says this, rubbing the area around his left wrist with his right hand that's wrapped in a white leather glove.
生きてることを私の腕に感謝するのだな。
はい。
The man presses down all over his left tendons with his right thumb. Every time he does, his left fingers stretch out and bend. Why does their movement seem so inhuman? Could it be a robotic hand? Maybe? I don't know, really, but that was my first thought.
低能は嫌いだ。
え?
He glares at me once again.
今度やったら引き殺す。
That's not a warning, it's a declaration. Right now, every single cell in my body is absorbing the killing air that he's giving off. At that instant, all strength leaves my body. I'm frozen like a deer in headlights. Even so, my shoulders are trembling like crazy. For a while, I can't even breathe.
ああ、逆に満月は生命力をかきたてる。だが、それが負のファクターとして働けば、ヒステリー気味で怒りっぽい人は自分を見失い、事故や暴力犯罪につながる。
The words Yayoi-sensei said replay in my mind. Could that have been due to the period of the full moon, or the eclipse? Where humans become brutal and incidents happen? My trembling fingertips had pressed a button on the cell phone that I'm firmly grasping. On the screen is, "Are you there? I am here." Every day, the sun rises in the eastern horizon and sets in the west. Even though the heliocentric theory has dominated in these modern times, our minds still operate according to the Ptolemaic theory from hunter-gatherer times. My body, my desires, and my unconscious, they're all thinking different things than my actual consciousness. I'm locked up in this fleshy prison known as my body, and I can't run away from it. Where is my soul? In my heart that will continue beating until my death? In my cerebellum that's connected to my sensory cell neurons? Either way, they're nothing more than lumps of meat. Even when I place my hand on my face like this, it feels like I'm wearing a thick glove and I'm trying to search for the face that lies behind my mask. Where is my real self? Is that why she sought out that other world? Was it her special way of seeking her real self? Is one's real self actually there? My gaze shifts from the empty living room to the door to her room, even though I know she's in neither place. No one knocks on the door, and there's no way anyone will come out. That's why Who is it? At a time like this... No, what time is it now? As I shield my eyes from the brightness before me, I head for the phone. If it were my cell phone, then I wouldn't have to do this.
はい。
あ、ひなた？私。
And a picture phone. About time, huh? Well, I know we have Skype these days, but yeah.
なんだ、咲夜か。
もう、なんだとご挨拶ね。一体誰からだと思ったのかしら？
そりゃ誰って。
Who indeed? Dad? No, Dad said he'd be late. He wouldn't call me. Even if he did, he knows perfectly well that all that would do is put me in a bad mood. If that's the case...
まあ、いいわ。ねえねえ、大丈夫？
何が？
だって、あの後早退しちゃったんでしょ？
ああ、そのことか。大丈夫だよ。心配いらない。
Am I okay? In regards to what, or whom? Even I don't know. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm probably just saying that to convince myself.
授業の進度なら出なくてもわかるから。
でも私、一生懸命ノート取ったんだよ。
Come to think of it, I do think I came up with that excuse when I ran away from Sakuya.
今からそっち行こうか？
必要ない。メールで転送してくれ。
でもだって直接説明した方がわかりやすいこともあるし。
ちゃんとノート取ってくれたんだったら説明されなくてもわかるよ。じゃあ、そういうことで。
待ってよ。
まだ何か？
何かっていうか、心配で。
だから、授業の件は。
そうじゃなくて、ひなたのことが心配なんじゃないよ。
僕の？
だから、早退しちゃったから、健康とか、ほら、いろいろ。
ああ、そう。
I hold back the words, "It's none of your concern." But I don't know how else I should answer. Why does Sakuya meddle in my affairs so much? Well, she cares about you. We've been friends since, well, for a very long time.
あのさ、何か困ったことがあったり、悩んでることがあったら、気軽に相談してね。
ああ。
What does Sakuya even know about what's going on in my head? In the first place, people can't look into other people's minds. Well, that's true, but if you just told her something...
一人で抱え込まないでね。私たち幼馴染なんだよ。内緒事は嫌だよ。
So you're saying that there's not a single secret you're hiding from me? If there's any childhood friends of the opposite sex at our age who don't keep secrets from each other, then I'd like to see them.
分かってるって。
But I answer with this. I'm not worried about anything. I don't seek anything, and I don't desire anything. From now on, that's how it will always be for me, up to the mercy of the world.
そう
I don't want to know Sakuya's secrets. I don't have time to be thinking about other people's affairs. There's a lot of things I have to do as it is.
じゃあ
But what are these things that I must do? Sitting like this in the darkness, running away and contemplating? Continuing to search for answers that will never come?
わかった。じゃあメールで送っとくね。明日また元気に会おうね。
うん、明日。
Divided by zero. A singularity in math whose answer will never appear for eternity. That's why people decide to accept things whose answer will never appear. So why do troublesome things happen? Singularity generally refers to a point on a curved line or a curved surface that either lacks a tangent or has more than one. For example, the North Pole and South Pole have latitudes of 90 degrees. However, since all latitude lines meet at the poles, neither pole has a defined latitude. In general relativity, a singularity refers to a location where the laws of physics cannot be applied. Also, singular points in cosmology are points in space where materials that have fallen into black holes reach infinite density. The circumstances of these singularities cannot be understood with current physics. According to physicist Stephen Hawking, singularities in space function as regular points in spacetime when visualized with imaginary time, where time is viewed as a complex plane where imaginary numbers run perpendicular to real numbers. There are situations that you can't undo. You can't cry over spilled milk. Accepting that is the way of life for people who have been left behind. This room is my world, or rather, a place where I can feel a sense of reality. And over there is a lone cactus that just sits there. It bears its loneliness, not needing much watering. No, the cactus doesn't even need to bear it. It doesn't feel loneliness. Even though it's in this room, why does it cover its body in an armor of sharp thorns? To protect itself from someone? What do you hope to gain by having that form? Don't all flowers want to bloom? When I'm with plants, I start to wax philosophical. When I become self-aware of that, I instantly become depressed. The world is once again beginning to be shrouded in fake-looking mist. I walk over to my bedside and try opening the window. I gaze out the window and quietly survey the city. Every house that has people in it has the lights on in the rooms they're in. They look like flames in the darkness. And when I look up, I see the nearly full moon in the sky. If I reached my hand out, would it reach it? I reach up as high as I can and try to grasp it. Of course, the only thing in my hand grasps is air. Under the moonlight, I continue to stare at the moon without any clue as to when it'll stop, or when I'll stop. At the very least, I can say this act is something I want to do. I search for the moon in my dreams. Wait, where are you going? Why are you staying quiet? Why won't you say anything? There's something I have to talk to you about. There's something I have to tell you. So stop moving. If you can hear my voice, then I want you to listen to me. Even though these words still can't come out of my mouth even now, I'm always screaming them in my heart. This time, I'll definitely convert these feelings into words. So, why can't I catch her? Why are my legs always so slow? They should be more than fast enough to catch up with her. So, why? When I look up, I see...
追いつけない。
Someone mutters this.
あいつに追いつけない。もう永遠に。
Even though I know that voice is coming out of my own throat, I needed a little time to realize that.
僕は。
Just what the hell is going on? What's a dream? What's fact? What's fiction? What's real? The distinction between them is starting to become vaguer and vaguer. My cell phone rests at my bedside. The words on the display are, "You have one unread email." My hands are trembling. I stare at the display for a little while. If I open that email, I'll never be able to return to reality. That's what it feels like.
バカバカしい。
At any rate, it's just some spam. If something like that is capable of making me unable to put my worries at ease, then I can't live in this new era. Get a hold of yourself, Aoi Hinata. The title of this one is, Hey, Oni-chan!
ほうほう。なかなか手の込んだスパムじゃないか。
The name of the sender is Mutsuki. This is the third email they've sent me. She's dead, so there's no way I'd get any emails from her. I'll just block this address. Email has been deleted. Would you like to block this address?
もちろんこうだ。どうだ参ったか。これでもうお前に悩まされたりしないぞ。もうこれで永遠に。
The instant I say that, I'll never see her again for all of eternity?
これは
Didn't I wake up earlier? And then I deleted that email.
やっぱり夢だったか。
I wiped the sweat on my forehead off with the back of my hand. When I try to begin changing my clothes, I realize something unpleasant. Since I deleted that email, there's no way that can be right. Was that a dream or a reality? Investigating that would be simple. All I'd have to do is check my blocked address list. That's all. That's why I...
Ohayou! 今日もちゃんと来たね。感心感心。
Sakuya.
Haven't I seen this scene before? Isn't this a replay of what happened yesterday morning? If I recall correctly, then right after this, she tugged at my ear.
やっぱり具合悪そうだね。風邪でもひいた？
いや、多分大丈夫。
そう。
It seems like it was just a groundless fear of mine. When I look at my cell phone, the display says that it's April 27th, so in other words, a day has passed since then. Well, that's obvious.
それで、ちゃんとご飯食べたの？
え？
Now that I think about it, I can't remember if I ate anything after yesterday's breakfast. Ah, you must be hungry.
まさか、食べてないんじゃないでしょうね。
そんな怒ることじゃないだろ。
I should feel at least slightly dizzy. Nonetheless, it's a fact that I don't have any appetite whatsoever. What's going on with my body?
そんな、だったらひなたのお父さんは何をしてたの？
そういえば、帰ってきた形跡がなかった。
なんですって？
なんだよいきなり、大声なんか出したりして。
だって、それは。
Because my head feels kind of full today, I didn't check the information display column. Even though I was so clear-headed yesterday, I feel extremely stupid today.
まあ、話は後々。早く乗った。
It isn't as crowded today as it was yesterday. When I check the time, I see it's on time today. Even though I live the same way every day, that detail has changed.
はい。
これは？
Sakuya suddenly opens her bag and produces a bento box. It's crammed with eggs, spinach, fried seafood, octopus-shaped wieners, and various multicolored garnishments.
早く食べちゃいなさい。バスが着くまでに。
でもこれ、昨夜の昼ご飯だろ？
昼は 一緒に学食に行くの。
でも、
体は正直よの。
そんな悪代官みたいな。
ほら、よだれよだれ。
自分でできるよ。
Although I say this, I realize that I don't have the persuasive power I had yesterday. Today is also sunny. The spring wind begins to flow as if it's blowing away all my depression. It blows everything away with it, leaving only me.
でもさ、
何？
お互い家に片親しかいないと大変だよねって思って。
父さんはうちにはほとんどいないよ。
まあ、そうなんだけどね。
From the first time I met her, Sakuya's had no mother or siblings, at the very least none that I've seen. The only family I know she has is her stony-faced, nearly inhuman-looking father. Sakuya's home situation is almost the same as mine is now. She's alone even when she comes home. Has Sakuya always been under that impression ever since she was a child?
でも、私にはナナがいるから。
誰？
ナナよ、ナナ。もう、忘れちゃったの？
ナナね。ナナちゃんね。
To be honest, I don't remember anything. Well, to be honest, the name is resonating to something in the corners of my mind, but I can't remember anything. Just what was it?
もう、いいわ。たとえひなたが忘れたって、私は一生忘れないから。
一生か。
That feels both such a long time. That feels both like such a long and short time simultaneously. What she said just now makes it seem like I gave Sakuya something. But with my mind as foggy as it is today, I can't figure it out for the life of me.
あの子とも一緒にね。
あのことって？
ここにいるニブチンさんは、どうせ何にも覚えてないんでしょ？
面目ない。どうした？
本当に具合悪いみたいね。
だからどうしてそうなるんだよ。
だっていつもだったらもう少し噛みついてくるのに張り合いないな。
If I'd snarled at her, it's obvious she'd just complain about it. Geez, women's hearts are way too difficult. Now that I think about it, it feels like she worried about this kind of stuff in the past as well.
思い出した？どうして同じなの？ナナは一人しかいないんだもん。
This must be a younger Sakuya.
あの子と一緒じゃ嫌なんだもん。ひなた？ひなた？
I remembered. Nana was the name of Sakuya's rabbit. But that's something that's also connected to her.
ひなた、大丈夫？今からでも学校休む？
体調のせいじゃない。
I barely managed to say this.
じゃあどうして？
咲夜が僕にいらないことを思い出させるから。
そうだったの。ごめんね。
咲夜。
Feelings of guilt pierced me through the heart. Sakuya's done nothing wrong. Even so, I blamed it on her. I really am the most pathetic excuse there is for a man and a human being.
昨日の話だけどさ。何が？ほら、月食の事件の犯人。ただのマシントラブルちゃうの。いや、それがさ、受験に失敗してむしゃくしゃしている浪人生が腹いせにやったらしい。
お前昨日うちの生徒がやったって言うたやんけ。
そんな昔のことは覚えちゃいないね。
よかった。じゃあその件はそういうことで
返せよ、500円。
Those two guys are the same as ever. I turn away from them.
ねえねえ、さくちゃんとこにも来た？来たって？これこれ。ああ、これこれ。やっぱ来てたのね。よかった。よくないよ。なんだか気味が悪い。なんだかロマンチックじゃない？
君のいるところがどこだろうと、僕は必ず探し当てるみたいな。
Sounds more like a stalker to me. Huh? What are they talking about?
緑、あんた脚色しすぎでしょ。でもこれってそういう意味だと思うよ。そうかもしれないけど、思い込みは良くないよ。ただのスパムかもしれないんだしさ。でも、添付の URL 言ってみたけど。あんたそれうかつすぎ。大丈夫だったよ。ただのゲームの案内。でもあんた、そういうスパムはリンク先なんて押しちゃダメなんだからね。今度から気をつけるね。本当にもう。
That email? That was most likely an email sent to a large number of people. If that's the case, then it seems I was really overthinking it when I thought it was specifically targeting me.
そういえば、バビロンだっけ？
お、早速行ってみましたか。
うん。ちょうどタイミングよく招待メールが来てたからさ。
お前はほんま運がええな。なんせ昨日最終シナリオって噂されてるアッシュール、太陽の翼編が始まったんやからな。
Ashur, the guardian deity of the Assyrian Empire, represented as a bearded man drawing a bow in the center of a sun disk with wings. His name shares the same etymology with the Assyrian Empire as well as its capital city, Ashur. The Assyrian kings ruled as a conduit to the god Ashur. To the Assyrians, a contract with the empire was the same as a contract to the god. They believed that if they did not severely punish those who violated such contracts, they themselves would be punished by the god. Thus, wars with Assyria were taken to be crusades, and Assyrians brutally murdered their enemies to the best of their ability.
んで、その後に復活シナリオが来るんだろ？
いや、まあ、そうなったら嬉しいやんけ。
結局お前って資本主義に踊らされてるのな。
って言うけどな、今回のシナリオやったらお前今まで伝説のベールに包まれてた熱心が降臨するって話やで。
お前、恥ずかしいからリアルな会話で熱心とか言うなよ。
The conversations and topics from yesterday are linking together as they blend. I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't on my mind, but that doesn't concern me. I don't like sticking my nose in places where it doesn't belong.
Hinata?
I feel like I heard a voice calling out to me from behind, but I pay it no heed. For now, I decide to try heading to the infirmary. It'd be nice if Yayoi-sensei is actually there this time. Huh? Ouch. When I open my eyes, I see a girl in front of me. The assorted textbooks and the like that she was carrying have scattered all over the floor. She's fallen quite splendidly yet again. She's just been getting into accident after accident since yesterday. Was this accident now yet another case of bad luck for her? These random thoughts flow through my head.
どこ見てるのよ。ぼさっとしてると弾き飛ばすわよ。
I'm instantly stunned by her behavior.
弾き飛ばされたのは君の方だろ。
なんですって？嫁入り前の娘になんてことするのよ。傷物にでもなったら責任取ってもらうからね。
Does this girl even understand what she's saying right now?
それは悪かったよ。でもそのくらいだったら大丈夫。残る傷にはならないと思う。
いちいち反抗的なやつね。そんなことよりも、はい。ねえ、早く。
何を？
この手を見てわからない？
Her hand? What does she mean? Huh? Wait, is she saying...
慰謝料取る気？
Oh, come on, Hinata.
アホー！んなわけあるか！起きるのに手を貸してって言ってるのよ。レディーに対して常識でしょ。ったく気の利かないやつね。
ああ、そういうことですか。はいはい。
Up you go. I pull the girl up, pick up her books, and reluctantly hand them over.
今度から気をつけなさいね。もう。
The girl leaves while mumbling and grumbling to herself. Oh brother, such a noisy girl. Huh? Come to think of it, I feel like I've seen that girl somewhere before. Where was it again?
なあ、そうだ。
She's the girl who missed the bus? Or she's the girl I saw at the front of the school? Well, you know, she doesn't seem to act quite like the one that missed the bus. So I'm gonna say she's the girl I saw at the front of the school. I finally remembered. She's the girl I saw in front of the school. But what a meeting. Even though it doesn't seem like we are very compatible people, it feels like we have some sort of bond. While thinking about these trivial things, my current destination comes into view. My head calms down a little, for behind this door is the one person who understands my heart. This is Yayoi's room. Knock first, okay? There's a whiteboard attached to the infirmary's door. There's a pastel drawing on it that, how to put it? Well, to be blunt, it sends shivers down my spine.
おう、ひなたじゃないか。今日も元気か？
元気ならここに来るわけないじゃないですか。
それもそうだな。
Yeah, let's bring up the whiteboard.
それはそうと。あれ、わざとですか？
あれって何が？
いや、生徒を気色悪がらせて、ここに近づけないための前置け、とか？
ひどい。弥生、せっかく頑張ったのに。
だから、先生は普通にしててくださいよ。
そうか。難しいな、最近の若い子は。
そういう問題じゃないでしょ。だいたい、他の職員や学長からとか、何も言われないんですか？
うん、何にも。
I see. Everyone else might have realized that even if they did say anything, it'd be pointless.
ほら、ひなた。
はい？
ぼーっと突っ立ってないで、早くここに来る。
はあ。
昨日君逃げたでしょ。数々のご恩がある先生の肩、揉んでくれないで。
I really don't think this is appropriate.
あ、いや、それは、
I was careless. Why was it that I couldn't remember that? I walked into a trap that was left right at my feet.
もう少しした。もう少し。そうそう。結構。そこそこ。いいわ。ひなた。
Taken out of context, this could sound like something else.
ですね。
先生の声で感じちゃった？若いんだからもう。
からかわないでください。僕は真剣に困ってるんですから。
そういえば、何の用だっけ？
頭痛がするって言いましたよね。
ああ。
夜、眠れないんです。
不眠症なのか？
正確に言うと、いつ眠っても悪夢ばかりで。
気にしすぎない方がいいな。人間が見る夢の過半数は悪夢だ。
そうなんですか？
夢というのは、起きている間に受け取った情報を眠っている時に脳が整理する過程で起きる単なる副作用だ。
副作用って？
サイドエフェクト。火花みたいなもんだ。
いや、英語で言い直さなくてもいいです。わかります。でも保健医とはいえ、よくそこまで客観的な意見が言えますね。
それが事実だ。それに、私は眠らない。
Really?
また僕を担ごうとした。
まあ、ほとんど寝ないな。
全然寝不足に見えませんよ。
少年よ、こういう話を知っているかね？
知りません。僕が悪かったです。
よろしい。イルカやクジラは我々と同じ肺呼吸をする哺乳類なのに、眠っている間にどうして溺れたりしないと思う？
それは、尾行を海面に出して浮かんでるんでしょうか？
そ そんなんじゃ天敵に襲われてしまうさ。正解は、眠らずに1日24時間泳いでいる。
でもそれって、
I can't process the information in my head.
もう少し詳しく言うとだな。大脳の右半球と左半球が別々に睡眠をとる。したがって完全に眠ってしまうことはない。彼らは起きながら夢を見る。
まさか、弥生先生もそうだって言いたいんですか？
どうかな。
でも、大脳の右半球と左半球じゃ役割が違うじゃないですか。例えば、言語中枢は左脳だし。
それはあくまでも一般的な例に過ぎない。個人差もあるし、聞き手にもよる。右脳に言語中枢がある人もいるということだ。
じゃあ、
相対性理論で有名なアルバート・アインシュタイン博士の脳がアメリカのスミソニアン博物館に飾られている。
知ってます。
おう、さすがだな。それで、アインシュタインの脳が一般人とどう違うか知ってるかな？
確か、普通の人が脳の 10% しか使ってないのに、アインシュタインはその何倍も使っていたんですよね。神経ネットワークの発達が違っていた。
それはその通りだが、それではディテールを落としていることになる。それでは真実に近づいたとは言えない。
どういうことですか？
アインシュタインをはじめ天才と呼ばれる人々は、大脳の左半球と右半球を均等に使っていた。一般人が大抵左に偏っていたのに対してね。
今までの話を総合すると、弥生先生は自分が天才だと、そう言いたいわけですね。
あら、わかっちゃった？弥生恥ずかしい。
Uh-huh.
ありがとうございました。先生と話してたら、自分の悩みがいかに馬鹿らしいかわかりました。
That's my own form of sarcasm.
まあ、君ぐらいの年頃に悩むなってのは無理だろうが、悩んでも意味ないことはたくさんある。どうせなら意味があることで悩もうぜ、少年。
はい。
This is odd. When she replies like that, my sarcasm is no longer sarcasm. Yayoi Sensei really is extremely wise about a broad variety of things. That's probably the reason I wanted to come here.
もうそろそろいいですか？
いや、もうちょっと。
先生の方、どれだけ凝ってるんですか？
いっぱい。とりあえず、その上で、そこから少し左。そうそう、そこそこ。
もう、きちんと揉んで欲しかったら変な矯正あげないでくださいね。
わかってるって。あはー。
So you just do it more. Great.
僕、帰ります。
ひなた、眠れないときは無理に眠ろうとしなくていい。体を休めてるだけでも十分効果があるから。眠れるときだけ眠ればいいんだから。
I hear Yayoi Sensei's voice from behind, which has suddenly turned cool-headed.
たく。
If you're a teacher, then act like one. I'm tempted to say this, but I don't. Not when she's actually doing her job.
お大事に。
ありがとうございます。
Even though I'm the one who's been teased, this is all I can say. Out of all my life experiences, these afternoons are the only time where I truly feel like I can show myself as a human. Huh?
顔色はいいみたいね。青いひなたくん。
When I turn around, I see...
うわ、昨夜。
うわじゃないわよ。この密室で弥生先生と一体何をやってたのよ。
As she says this, Sakuya points to the whiteboard with a drawing that Yayoi-sensei did her best to draw yesterday, apparently. This is Yayoi's room. Knock first, okay?
何もしてないよ。ただ、肩を揉んであげてただけだよ。
のいいこと。
Are you serious?
先生は黙っててください。話がややこしくなるだけだから。
生徒同士仲良くな。それとあんまり仲良くしすぎて困った事態を引き起こさないように。
弥生先生。
怖い怖い。さっきはあんなに優しかったのに、ひなたくんのいけず。
What the hell is up with this situation? Why did my bad luck with women have to show up now of all times? Where should I swing this clenched fist of mine?
へえ、ほー、
なんだよ。疑うのか？
まあ、ひなたにそんな度胸はないだろうしね。信じてあげるわ。
いや、度胸とかそういう問題じゃなくて、人間にはやっていいことといけないことがあるだろ。
ほほう。じゃあ約束をすっぽかすのは人間としてやっていい行為なんでしょうか？答えなさい。教科学園高等部1年1組、青井ひなたくん。
約束って言ってててて。
いいから、とっとと学食来る。もう昼休み終わっちゃうでしょ。
あれは勝手に咲夜が言って、もう耳離せよ。自分で歩けるから言っててて。
この様子じゃ、ひなたがウサギに変身するのも遠い将来の話じゃなさそうね。
Someone save me!
開いた。ということは、まさか。
When I get home, I find that it's unlocked.
父さん。
ひなたか。
A somewhat awkward atmosphere hangs between us. Unable to bear this atmosphere any longer, I...
まさか、こんな時間に帰ってきてるなんてね。空き巣にピックロックされたかと思った。入り口も鍵開きっぱなしだったし。
ああ、そうか。すまんな。
This is wrong. This isn't the kind of conversation I want to have. Why is Dad always like this? That's why I...
母さんの見舞いに行ってきたよ。
でも今日は、仕事はどうしたの？
明日から出張でしばらく帰れない。だから今日は早上がりしてきた。
ああ、そうなんだ。
うん。
As he says this, Dad begins to boil hot water in the kitchen. After that, he prepares 2 cups and tea bags.
飲むだろ。
Dad cocks an eyebrow. For some reason, it really pisses me off.
そんなことより、どうだったのさ。
ん？ああ、良くなってるさ。だんだんとな。
Dad averts his eyes as he says this. You're lying. You always say this, Dad. If she's really getting better, why is it that Mom isn't discharged from the hospital no matter how much time passes?
そっか。よかった。
But I say this instead. I'd rather not hear anything bad. And there's no way the news will be good either way.
そうだな。
Dad also gives a rather flat answer, just like me. But there's nothing between us that we can bring up in a conversation.
僕、部屋に行ってるよ。
まあ、待ちなさい。
What's with that? Just what is Dad trying to say so late in the game?
学校で何か変わったことは起きていないか。
変わったこと？
Now that I think about it, didn't Dad say something like this yesterday morning as well?
そうだな。例えば、体調不調を訴える生徒が増えているとか。
Yayoi Sensei's words pop into my mind.
君でもう13人目かな。
何がです？
早退願い。それ以外にも今日はやたら気分が優れない生徒が多い。
It can't be. What is Dad trying to say?
何を言ってるのさ。そんなことあるわけないじゃない。
Those are the words that come out of my mouth. Dad firmly stares at me.
そうか。それならいいんだ。きっと思い過ごしだろう。
I can't stand this. I try to go to my room so I don't have to look at him. I hear Dad's voice from behind me.
もし困ったことになったら、天音先生に相談しなさい。いいね。
Amane Yayoi-sensei? But why? I retreat into my room without answering him. What does Dad know? Why is Dad's world infringing on mine? I'm so confused. I don't know how I should interpret this. The world feels like it's begun to collapse at the same time my headache starts. This must be some kind of mistake. These peaceful days where nothing happens were supposed to continue on forever. Where is this? Even though I feel like I don't recognize this place, it also feels like I've been here countless times. And what am I doing here? Fumbling, I walk forward. Is something waiting for me here? Or am I all alone? You might not be able to hear it, but there's a voice very, very faintly. Okay. Let's go. Huh? Who called me just now? I heard Oni-chan something. It can't be.
Mutsuki.
The instant I say that word, I feel like I understand everything. Regret hits me like an avalanche. The impact takes hold of my heart, rendering my body unable to move. I can't hear her voice no matter what. I can't approach her no matter what. But she's definitely criticizing me. That's because she resents me. And the girl over there is...
Mutsuki.
That word comes out of my mouth. My ears hear that name. Understanding begins to gradually soak into my brain. That's what Dad said. That's right. I killed her. Why? Even though I've never believed it. And now, everyone's ganging up on me, trying to make me remember her. Why? She's no longer here. Aoi Mutsuki, my younger sister, my twin sister. The cause was me. It's all my fault.
違うよお兄ちゃん。そうじゃないの。そうじゃなくて。
Then why? Why did you suddenly disappear? It's been 2 years since you ran away from home. If I had been more reliable, then it would never have happened.
お兄ちゃん。
It's my fault, right? If I'm wrong, then tell me the reason. Is it yes or no? I don't care which it is, just answer.
Yes.
That sounded like yes, although it's hard to hear with the echo. I don't know, 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 I don't know. My heart is trembling, my thoughts are unsettled, blending into the background noise. Because I don't know, I stop thinking. That's how I've lived up until now, so that I don't think about it, so that I don't remember it, so that I don't suffer. Is she dead? Or is she alive? The answer is either yes or no. Even so, I don't think she's still alive. Even so, I can't trust my own memories. Even so, Feelings of guilt swirl around in my brain over and over and over. I can see my hold on reality warping around me. What's right? What's definite? Is there ground below my feet? My eyes can't see the past, the future, or even the present. Where is tomorrow? There's no one there. Was I expecting something? Was I expecting Dad to be waiting for me? How ridiculous. That workaholic would never spare a second thought about my welfare. I make toast and coffee. I consider skipping school because I'm not feeling well, but Golden Week starts tomorrow. At least for today, I'll force myself to go to school. I reach the dining table and try to spread some peanut butter. I notice a note left behind with a brandy glass on top of it acting as a paperweight. All that's written on the back is, to Hinata, in hasty writing. So he drank alone yesterday? And did he leave the house earlier than me this morning? It feels like I've swallowed a lump of lead. Not knowing what I should do, I avert my gaze. Of course, even if I do that, the note won't just disappear. I know that, but like a landmine, it can't explode unless I step on it. I'm scared of touching this letter so full of Dad's personality. That's right, I'm scared. I'm scared of everything. I'm scared of everything that causes my existence to waver. I get nauseous, leaving me unable to swallow anything. I throw my toast into the polyethylene bucket we use for raw garbage. I pour my coffee down the drain. I rinse it under some running water. I wish I could wash away all the memories sticking to my brain. The mass of the single sheet of paper I left on the table weighs on me, threatening to crush my entire body. That's definitely the weight of my irrelevant family.
で、こうなるわけだ。
何？
The aura coming from my smiling childhood friend seems to shake me. In her hands is a side bag bigger than what she normally brings. I have a rough idea of what's in there.
いや、Sakuya楽しそうだなと思って。
そりゃそうよ。人生を楽しむために、この私はこの世に生を受けたんだからね。
みんながみんなそう思えるなら、世界は平和になるんだろうな。
That might be true.
何？それバカにしてんの？
いや、褒めてるんだよ、心の底から。
うわー、なんだか背筋が寒くなってきたわ。雪でも降るんじゃないかしら。
信じないなら別にいいよ。
嘘。ひなたくん、もっと褒めて。
アホくさ。
Aw, come on.
耳引っ張り禁止ね。
Yes, I agree with that one. Don't pull his ears.
そんなの非道だよ。
というわけで、そろそろバスに乗ろうか。
しょうがないわね。今日のところは引き分けだ。
いや、意味がわからないから。
Horizontal clue, Hawking. Vertical clue, Cherenkov. Horizontal clue, Fermi. Many of the words begin to fill in the creator's design. Two words with no causality whatsoever join together at that intersection point. It seems by coincidence all the links and necessary threads are now connected. The crossword puzzle's X and Y axes take form of a language plane. It resembles a weaved complex plane of real and imaginary numbers. It's full of tricks and wiles, mixing multiplication with subtraction.
バカバカしい。
I abandoned the crossword puzzle I was concentrating on just minutes ago and stretched myself out. An unsolved puzzle. I'm always looking for those answers.
さくちゃん、聞いた出るらしいのよ。
だから、どこに何が？みどりん、夏はまだまだ先なのよ。
黄昏の貴公子よ。
何それ？
なんでも夕方とか夜になると赤のピンストライプの入った漆黒のスーツの超イケメンがこの界隈に現れるんですって。学校で見た人もいるそうよ。でね、その目がまた素敵で、ちょっと睨まれるだけですぐクラクラーってなっちゃうくらいなんだって。
メデューサじゃあるまいし。
あれ、さくちゃん興味ないんだ。
私としてはさ、なんかもうちょっとこう本当っぽい話、そういう話を聞きたいわけ。
はさくちゃんの心にはたった一人の人しかいないんでしょう。
またそういう話はやめてよ。
この憎いね。
だから違うんだってば。
何が違うのよ。 昨日も一緒に仲良くご飯食べてる姿見たんだからね。それに今日も
それはひなたが家で何にも食べてないから幼馴染としては不憫に思って。
幼馴染としてはね
何よ、文句ある？
あはー、私もさくちゃんみたいな幼馴染が欲しいよ。お嫁に来て
じゃあみどりんがちゃんと稼いで私のこと養ってくれる？
いやー、結婚とかそういうのまだ早いと思うな。僕たち交際してまだ間がないし、もっとゆっくりお互いを知り合ってからにしようよ。
はいはい。
Are those two not aware that same-sex marriage is not recognized by Japanese law? Or are they planning on holding a ceremony in a country that approves such a thing? No, I think they're joking, Hinata. Even though you can just use excellent dictionaries and search tools to solve crossword puzzles, even though I always rack my brain to solve them, human relations are not as easy. That's true enough. I don't understand anyone's feelings. I don't even understand my own feelings. Yeah, that's becoming clear. That's because I've detached myself from everything.
昨日の続きだけどさ。
何？あの事件は世を憂う老人の仕業やとか、またそういう話か？
それじゃあ水戸のご老公じゃないかよ。そうじゃなくて、とある某有名企業の工作員がやったってのが、ここ最近の情報では最も確率が高い線らしい。
お前も暇やな。ネットでそういうとこばっか見てんの？
それはいいとして。ところで、ドローって何よ？
Droll. Well, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's clearly the word world backwards. An unofficial group comprised of players who have nothing but the deepest affection for the fairy shadow Lem from Babylon. 1. Rem or Lem. By the way, the reason these are linked together is because in Japanese, they don't actually have either of these sounds. They have something that has some of the properties of both. It's da, du, so forth. So when they look at words from other languages, they get R and L confused. So 1. Comment line, remark in a program. 2. Rapid eye movement, REM. REM sleep is generally said to be the state of brain activity in which people dream, and forms a 90-minute sleep cycle with non-REM sleep. 3. In the online RPG Babylon, refers to a fairy-type shadow that is something of a mascot. Fairy originates from the adjective form of the Latin word fata, meaning fate. 1. Fairy, a fairy, or the kingdom of fairies. 2. A fairy-type shadow that has a low appearance probability in the very realistic MMORPG Babylon. There have been countless sightings of it since the very early stages of development. Currently, it's been recognized as the individual known as Lem.
うわ、お前バビロン入ったん昨日やろ？何そんなディープな話題してるん？
いや、うろうろしてたら路地裏に迷い込んでさ、PK に狙われるかってビビったんだけど、なんていうのあれ、妖精、フェアリー？
PK. 1. Penalty kick. A free kick to score in soccer awarded when a player commits a foul inside the penalty area. The penalty kick taker and the defending goalkeeper kick off for the right to possession. 2. Psychokinesis. Movement of objects through thought. 3. Probability of kill. Military statistic determining the likelihood a weapon would destroy a target. 4. Player killer. In games, someone who kills other players. I like how the most pertinent definition always seems to be last in these.
レムちゃん来たー！
そうそう、レムって言ってた。そのレムちゃんに導かれて生還できたわけなんだけど、そしたら変な連中が寄ってきて、ドローに入らないかって。
うわ、恨めやしい、あやかりたい。
もしかしてこれって、やっぱレアイベントなわけ？
レアもレア。もう煽ったってなかなか会えへんレムちゃんにお前そんなすんなり会えるなんてお前。ビーナーズラックもええとこや。くそー。
いや、だから、ドローって何なのよ。
手っ取り早く言えば、レムちゃん非公認のファンクラブってとこかな。
ああ、なるほど。
くそー。恨めやしいな。
Does he mean I'm bitter at you, or I'm bitter it wasn't me? You could say I'm bitter at these guys for being so carefree, what with my worries going every which way. Is there any way at all to escape this torturous boredom? After deciding where to go to have some room to myself, I turn the corner of the hallway. Wait for it. Wait a second. This situation seems kind of familiar.
いっててて。
With a bang, deja vu occurs right before my eyes. The girl has fallen to the floor, her textbooks and the like scattered all over it. That's right, she's... Actually, I don't know her name, come to think of it. Uh-oh, did I do more damage to her than I did yesterday? I can't take it if she gets angry again and starts bitching me out to take responsibility. I immediately try to help this girl up with that unyielding spirit of hers. Yumi? This girl's name is Yumi? Wait, isn't she actually completely different from yesterday? My extended hand unconsciously shakes.
大丈夫？
Yumi is staring firmly at my hand.
あ、いや、起きるのを手伝ってあげようかなって。
Did she think I was going to slap her or something? Has she gone nuts from falling every day? It can't be that that's my fault, is it? It feels like I'm going nuts as well. Well, more importantly, up you go. Like yesterday, I pull Yumi up, pick up her books, and reluctantly hand them over. No, but today I was the one who took the initiative in helping her, wasn't I?
いや、こっちこそよそ見をしていてすまなかった。僕は1年1組青いひなた。君は？
ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。
のえ。
Oh, brother. Yesterday and today have only reinforced that she's a strange girl. We're in the same school, so it's likely we'll meet again. When we do, I'll properly greet her. With that thought, I try to walk again. There's an ID card on the ground. It's definitely that girl's. I pick it up and check both sides. I find her signature there. Shinozuka Mayumi. Shinozuka Mayumi, huh? I see, so this is Yumi's?
ねえ、ユミちゃん。
I quickly head the way she apparently went down. However, she's nowhere to be seen. She'll probably be in big trouble if I don't return this to her. To make sure I don't lose it, I try to put it in my pocket when...
いたたたたた。
ねえ、ユミって誰なの？
The one doing this, with her mouth warped into a half frown and angled eyebrows, is none other than my childhood friend and classmate.
ちょっとたた。
ゆっくり話を聞かせてもらいましょうか。
誤解だってば。
It seems that I'm fated to be dragged away today as well.
ねえねえ、欲しい？欲しい？
あ、うん。
こっちはこっちは？どう？
いや、うまいけど。
I'm on the roof. Right in front of me is Sakuya's smiling face. She's apparently happy about something. On the table is 2 bento boxes, although I guess you could call them lunch boxes now. I thought bento actually means lunch. Something like that. What's the difference there, I wonder? For each is filled with many wondrous foods, like hot white rice and even some miso soup with steam flowing from the top. Just then, Sakuya takes her chopsticks and presents me with a strange food.
はい、
何これ。
何って、うさぎさんウインナーだけど？
それって普通、タコさんだろ。ウサギならリンゴだし。
いいじゃない。創意工夫、創意工夫。こっちなんか、うずらのうさぎさん。だから、はい、どうしたの？
サクヤは恥ずかしくないの？
え？そうだよね。ひなたはもう一人で食べられるくらい大きくなったんだもんね。
僕はサクヤの息子じゃないし。
はいはい。私はひなたのお母さんじゃないですよ。
分かってるならいいけど。
And, this seems like an important decision. So I'm going to save. Whoops. And for now, I'm going to choose, ask her why she's meddling in my affairs.
サクヤはどうしてそこまで僕を構うのさ。
どうしてって、それは。
The bunny wiener grasped between Sakuya's chopsticks suddenly falls out.
おっと。
Whew, it's safe. Fortunately, it landed in the bento box, so there's no problems with eating it. But Sakuya hasn't noticed it. Her eyes are cast down, and she seems to be resisting something. When I see that, I get kind of impatient.
サクヤ。お腹すいた。
When I say that, I open my mouth wide. I probably look like a real idiot right now. But I need to make some sacrifice to get out of this situation.
でもさっき恥ずかしくないかって。
僕はサクヤが恥ずかしくないか聞いただけで、僕が恥ずかしいだなんて言ってない。それにこのままだと顎が疲れるんだけど。
ごめん、そうだね。
Sakuya grabs the bunny wiener with her chopsticks again.
はい。
It really is delicious. Sakuya's smile has already returned. I'm a bit jealous that Sakuya can get happy over something as simple as this.
さてと。
Sakuya seems to be happy as she hums while starting on her bento box. When I see her like that, a question that I normally wouldn't consider pops into my mind.
サクヤっていつもそういうことやってるの？
そういうことって？家では家事全般やってるから任せちゃってよ。
そうなんだ。
ひなたんちは？
え？
誰が家事やってるの？
The clouds now look a little menacing.
誰がって、誰もやってないさ。
じゃあ朝のゴミ出しとかは？
それは僕がやってる。
掃除洗濯は？
土日とかに自分の分は僕がやってる。
案外サバイバル能力はあるのね。チェックチェック。
Okay.
なんか言った？
やだな。感心しただけじゃない。
Uh-huh.
別に僕は部活とかしてるわけじゃないから時間はあるし、自分のことだから自分でやる。それって当たり前だろ？
その当たり前が難しいんじゃない。じゃあさ、ご飯とかはどうしてるの？
適当にトーストとかコンビニの惣菜とかで済ませてる。休みの日なんかは電話でてんやものを注文したり、ファミレス行ったり。
誰と言ってるの？
誰とって、もちろん一人さ。
お父さんとか行ったりしないの？
誰があんなやつと？
ちょっとひなた。
I come to my senses, I realize that I'm standing up with my fists clenched. It seems like several dozens of people are staring intently at me, as if they were admonishing me.
ごめん。
I unclench my fists, apologizing to no one in particular. How pathetic of me to lose self-control over something like that.
こりゃ相当重症だわ。
I'm always walking through darkness.
お兄ちゃん
Ski?
お兄ちゃんってば
It can't be that you're...
私はここにいるよ
That's not true, because you...
死んだはずじゃないか。
ずいぶんうなされてたね。
サクヤ。
はいはい。みんなのアイドルサクちゃんです。
ここは
あらら、まだ夢と現実の区別がついてないのかな。
なんだって。
I see Sakuya right in front of me, holding her jaw in pain.
痛いじゃない。いきなり起き上がらないでよ。
だってそんな。
As I say this, I nurse my forehead. This situation is...
もしかして。
ああ、ほら、ひなたが疲れたよ。ちょっと休みたい。って言ってたから、木陰に行くことにしたんじゃない。
Really? That might be true. Because I haven't been sleeping well lately. I've been getting tired more easily. No, but that's not the problem here.
もしかして今までサクヤが？
うん。だってひなたすぐ眠っちゃったかと思ったら寝苦しそうにうなり始めたんだもん。だから少しでもね。
I unconsciously touched my right cheek. It seems like I can still feel the warmth of Sakuya's knees on it.
余計なことしないでよ。
あら、悪かったわね。
授業始まっちゃうからさ。
そういうひなたはどうするのよ。
もうちょっとここで涼んでいたい。どうしたの？そんなに怒った。
あのね。
Saved by the bell.
ほら、始まるよ。
これから弥生先生のとこ行く気でしょ。
うん。気分が治らなかったらそうするよ。
Does Sakuya not want me to go to the infirmary or something? Wasn't she concerned about my welfare just minutes ago?
あのユミとかいうことも仲良くしちゃったりするでしょ。
Yumi? Right, that girl who's tumbling down all the time. But what does this have to do with what we were just talking about?
仲良くって、僕らさっき初めて話したばっかりで、相手が誰かもよくわからないのに。
へえ、ほー。なのにすぐユミちゃんって呼ぶんだ。
だってそれは、何するんだよ。
ひなたなんか好きにすればいいでしょ。
言ってることがむちゃくちゃだよ。
どうせ私じゃ、むつきちゃんの代わりになんかなれませんよだ。
Oh. I can't move. What did Sakuya say just now? Mutsuki-chan?
私はここにいるよ
Where is here? Where are you? Where am I? Oni-chan, 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 Oni-chan. Mutsuki, 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 Mutsuki. Sister, 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 sister. Dead, 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 dead. Alive, 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 alive.
僕はお前を分かってやれなかった。理解できなかった。手を差し伸べられなかった。助けられなかった。救えなかった。何もしてやれなかった。
Dad, 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 dad. Mom, 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 mom. Siblings, siblings, siblings. I am alone. I am two. I am alone. I am...
勉強を見てやらなかった。 遊んであげなかった。相手をしてやらなかった。一緒に旅行にも行かなかった。お前は素晴らしいと褒めてやることすらなかった。
The tears and pain in my heart that I keep inside keep bursting to get out again and again. I completely wash away those assaults.
あら、目が覚めたよね。
弥生先生。
みんなのアイドル弥生ちゃんとは私のことでーす。
似合いませんよ。
うっさいわね。皮肉言ってる暇があったらちゃっちゃと起きる。
僕は病人なんですよ。もっと優しくしてくれても罰は当たらないでしょ。
毎日のように来てるから病人かどうか先生わかんなくなっちゃった。
だから可愛いこぶるのやめましょうよ。
なんで？ええじゃない。
僕の好きな弥生先生はもっとクールでかっこいい人です。
あら、さらっと何気なく激しい告白ありがとう。
僕は別にそんな意味じゃ。
はいはい分かってますって。別に期待しちゃいないから。
期待？
まあそういうのは置いといて、相手の印象を自分の主観で決めるのは良くないな。相手には相手の自由意志ってのがある。
でもこの人はこういうのがいいなとか思うのは勝手でしょ。
そりゃそうさ。でもそうなら相手の前で口外しないことだ。言ったってことはもう決めつけてるし、相手をコントロールしようとしていることになる。
そうですね。
何か？君は私を支配したいのか？
As usual, she says all these provocative things without hesitation. I desperately calm my mind and answer.
僕自身を支配したいです。
なるほど。それはまだ心が健康な印だ。
まだ？
ほとんど病気だってことだがね。君はなんで今ここにいるか分かってるか？
日射病か何かで倒れたんですね。それで誰かがここに運んでくれた。
こういう時でもその分析力は大したものだ。
大したことないですよ、このくらいは。
君の非凡さはなかなか面白い。
I can't tell if she's praising me or making fun of me right now. In my confused mind, something suddenly pops into my head. It's Mutsuki, 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 Mutsuki. For an instant, it felt like an image burst before my eyes. Have I already reached the point where I'm even having daydreams? The ones criticizing me are the letters M-U-T-S-U-K-I, the kanji for moon, the kanji for dream.
今日はいつにも増して顔色が悪いな。
そうでしょうか。
よかったら話してみないか？
何をです？
何でも。好きなことを、心の中に溜まっている深い思いを。
だったら。
At that moment, something comes to my mind. I decide to ask her.
僕はシスコンなんでしょうか？
シスターコンプレックスのことか？ああ、そうだ。どうした？
単刀直入にして生徒のトラウマに何の配慮もないご意見ありがとうございました。
意見じゃない。これは行為としての診断。いわば事実だ。そろそろ君は目を覚ますべきだな。
目を？
きちんと目覚めていないからこそきちんと眠れもしない。不眠症の原因は一つ。君の罪悪感だ。それがわからないほど君は愚鈍じゃない。ただわかりたくないだけ。そうだろ？ほら、その頭痛が何よりの証拠だ。君の場合、現実認識が自分のアイデンティティとぶつかった時、頭痛という症状として顕在化する。違うか？
そうかもしれない。
Before I know it, tears are flowing from my eyes.
泣きたい時には泣けばいい。それが健康ということだ。眠りたい時に 眠ればいいのと同じようにね。
やよい先生。
はいはい、今だけだからね、少年。
Sensei has the scent of Mom, Mutsuki, Sakuya, and Yumi. It feels as if my tears are healing me. Do I need tears? Before I knew it, I ended up stopping in a place like this. In a place like this. What kind of place is this? Just what sort of connection do I have to this world? I sit still. Everything around me is moving. The light shining down on me. The slowly moving clouds. The swirling wind. The fountain spraying water. The ants crawling across the ground. I'm all that's being left behind. The sun is descending. That's just another part of these repeating days. Time leaves me behind and goes off to places unknown, just like Mutsuki, and something instinctively catches my eye. A white rabbit passes before my eyes. It stops in front of me and looks at my face with great interest. What? No black silk hat? Or a pocket watch in its hand? Or bearing carnivorous fangs at me? These fanciful thoughts leave my head just as soon as they appeared. The rabbit instantly reacts to that voice by turning towards it and jumping again as if to say, "You'll never catch me!" There's a girl chasing the white rabbit. This is just like Alice in Wonderland, isn't it? Have I perhaps slipped into some bizarre space-time zone? At that instant, the girl turns towards me.
Mutsuki! ごめん。
She's just a little girl, no one I know. She's not the sister I lost. I stand up in order to hide my embarrassment.
ウサギ、捕まえてあげるよ。そのためには、相手を油断させてと。
As I gauge the distance between myself and the rabbit, I throw myself down on the lawn. At that instant, my entire world becomes the sky and nothing else. I don't have to look at the unnecessary artificial objects. I sharpen all of my body's senses. The girl looks at me curiously. I return her gaze with a smile that says, "You don't need to worry." And then, like that, I try to become as immobile as a stone. While the girl seems calm for the time being, she's clearly confused, not understanding what it is I'm doing. Well, she'll probably get it sooner or later. See, it's closing in. In order to turn my body into a sensor, I decide to shut my eyes. This hunt essentially boils down to a contest of endurance between the hunter and the hunted. I make all of my senses concentrate on what's around me. All sounds, vibrations, and the swaying of the air. And I wait for my target to give in to its curiosity and approach me. Now! The rabbit is in my hands while staring blankly at me in puzzlement with its red eyes. I thought it'd be a lot harder, but it turned out to be much simpler than I'd predicted. In fact, it was almost too easy. Oni-chan. The girl's face overlaps with Mutsuki's once again. Perhaps Mutsuki will also be surprisingly easy to recover, just like this rabbit? I have a feeling that's not going to be the case.
この子、どこ連れて行けばいいかな。
I had no idea there was a rabbit pen in this park. There's a sign outside it that says Petting Animal Club, which also has goats and horses. Looks like a nice place to take a family to have fun with animals.
本当にどうもすいません。
いえ、当然のことをしたまでですから。
The lock on the rabbit pen has gotten old, so it seems it's easily opened.
ここを直しておけばもう大丈夫ですよね。
ええ、まあそうですね。
Huh? What's with that strange look?
ありがとう。うさぎさん大事にしようね。
take care of the rabbit? For some reason, those words are tugging at my mind. Like there's something I have to do.
ほほー、こんなとこでもナンパなんかしてるわけね。
サクヤ、どうしてここが？
どうしてもこうしても偶然通りかかっただけ。あんた今日も勝手に早退したでしょ。
勝手じゃないよ。ちゃんと弥生先生に許可もらったし。
あのね。
At that moment, someone tugs on my sleeve again and again.
ねえねえ、お兄ちゃんたち結婚してるの？
Hey kid, don't go stirring the pot.
まさか、そんな風に見える？
わかんない。
あらら。
でも同じウサギさんだからこのお姉ちゃんも好き。
そっか、いいよね、うさぎさんカット。
ぴょんぴょんぴょんぴょん。じゃあお兄ちゃんたちまたね。
I lightly wave my hand. The clerk takes the girl's hand and walks off with her. She must be the little girl's mother.
なんだかああいうのいいよね。
まあな。
憧れちゃうな。
I can't speak. What was it that I did for that girl? Didn't I once do something similar for Sakuya? And so I head back home while walking through the darkening city. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop for this session. So, man, a lot has been going on. So, next time, we'll maybe go deeper into this. So, until then, see you later. Bye.